It's all you, bro.
All right, guys. This is Lord Chicken Boy here.
It's not his name.
It's not his name. You're right. But got a little spicy deck profile for you. So let's get started. First off, we're gonna start with the zeros. So we're gonna run the only starter that you really care for. We play 8 crits, 4 heals, 4 drop PGs. The only reason we don't run fronts is because this deck doesn't need fronts. We just want to aggro our opponent to death, and we call it a day.
Did Narukami get a new crit or no?
We did. This is the new crit.
That's a new crit?
Yeah, I don't
Bro,
like.
how come you mixing it up, bro? Confuse your opponent.
Because I don't like yellow gem carbuncle.
Mix it up, bro.
No, I don't like yellow gem carbuncle. I really don't like it. Alright, we run 2 of the counter charger. This card comes up a lot. A lot of the times my opponent gets me just 1 damage. I'll have this in my hand. They'll have another rear guard. Bam! I have 2 counter charge for the price of a soul blast.
I thought it was a bad card though, man. What changed?
It was a bad card, but what changed was that now we got a lot more versatility for binding. Back then we didn't have a lot of versatility with binding. We run 3 of Gaibon. Honestly, Gaibon is what fixed the deck itself. Gaibon makes it so people can't PG certain numbers or make it so you hit a perfect number so your opponent can't guard it. This card itself has made a lot of people rage. It's not a very fair card, but it has a lot of good synergy with the deck itself, especially with the main grade 3 or the secondary main grade 3. So I'll show you a little combo later with that.
Some might say Gaibon is the deck.
Facts. We have 4 chickens, very self-explanatory. You bind a card, this is you bind a unit, this card's gonna drop, you call it for free. You have an extra 11k booster, you know, or if you're trying to seal games, there's an extra attack that hits in an extra circle. Then the Demolition Dragon, self-explanatory, early game, you draw a card, you try to aggro your opponent, you want to make sure you have resources, extra resources. Grade 2s, we're going to start off with Zuitan. Zuitan is really good because it lets you draw early, it gives you soul, which is what's the problem that was back then. We didn't have soul to do anything. That's why we use the counter charge, because now since we can build soul, it's more consistent to do. Also, if you have a bunch of Gauntlet Busters, he makes it so everything has plus 5k, especially in the rear guard circle, so you can do big number attacks just with grade 3s alone. The other new boy, Chowo, Fiendish Sword Eradicated Chowo. He's very good. When placed, counterblast 1, you bind your opponent, and then you can move the unit. If there was a unit behind that rear guard, you push it forward, so it's a free Ricky for just 1 counterblast instead of a soul blast. And then he himself is a counter charger, so early game, if your opponent doesn't have anything in the front row, you have 1 open counter blast, you swing with this, and then you counter blast 1 after the Vanguard attacks, you can have an extra attack. And then if you have Gaibon, that's a 12k, even a 19k, just depends. Your opponent can't do nothing early game. Then we're going to have 4 of the Death Scythe. Death Scythe is very self-explanatory. We build a lot of soul. We soul blast 2. He gains 3k. He's a 17k by himself if you use a skill. And then if you have no counterblast, also really great synergy with the grade 1 with Helena, because now you can just soul blast 3 since you build so much soul, you counter charge, and then you can do a lot more plays still. Then for the grade 3s, we run 4 drills. Early game drill is fantastic, especially if you go first. You open drill, you will have drill with Zuitan, you have a really big beat stick. If you get crits, you stack it on him. Your opponent can't PG them, and you're swinging for 2 massive attacks. The opponent can't really, either has to take it or has to overguard and extend without using PGs from hand if you have Gaibon. If not, it's still a really big number, and overall you're plussing a card early game regardless. And then the new boy, Gauntlet Buster. Gauntlet Buster, honestly, this was a mistake. This card is a mistake. This card shouldn't have done what it does.
I wouldn't say so. Ghostbuster Dragon, He's the same guy. He gets crits too.
But the problem
it
is,
just kind of wins sometimes. It happens. It's Vanguard.
yeah, but Gauntlet Buster Dragon. Gauntlet Buster Dragon is open rigor circle. Gust Blaster is when something's retired. This card is way freer. Plus, it gains 5k in a crit. So against any Excel matchup, you're literally just plussing super hard, and your opponent has to either have the PG or overguard it. Or I always have to 2 to pass or no to pass it. So that's basically the deck. I just want to show you one quick combo. It shows.
It's a basic combo of both grade 3s. Well, I mean, not at once, but whichever one you're on.
So basic combo you want to do in general. It doesn't matter where this goes. Normally you want to have these two here. You can call this if you want. This is just an extra card. Doesn't even matter. If you have an extra Excel marker, you want to have him in the extra Excel marker. And then, so you want to swing, you counterblast the 1, and then let's say you get 1 critical, and then say you get nothing. That's cool. Your Vanguard now restands. He gains an extra 3k, so he's going to be 20k by himself, plus the trigger is going to be 30k, and then 41, and it can't be PG with 2 crits. So your opponent, no pass, no guarding, you're swinging for an even bigger number now. That can't be PG. And then before you even did this, you still have this unit. So let's say you get another trigger when he attacks, you can just stack it onto him, and even better. Or let's say you're going first, which is a very quick combo. Also, you get 2 triggers when you draw check. Let's say you got crit when you swung. This boy hasn't swung yet. You stack it all here. On the extra Excel marker, he's going to be 34 by himself. Plus, you can give him the power of this. He's going to be 37 to crit. And when this restand swings again, you restand him by a counterblast, and then you swing again for 37 or 40. And then he's just hitting you with 2-3 crits right at once. So that's one with him. And then I will show you a quick one with Gauntlet Buster. Gauntlet Buster, let's say you have 2 Gauntlet Busters in your hand. You use Gauntlet Buster, let's say you have a chicken in your hand. You discard the chicken, now he has a booster.
Well, that's like your bare minimum combo with Gauntlet Buster, right?
Yeah,
if you have the Phoenix in hand, you discard the Phoenix, so it's free.
So it's free, so you literally discard a card just so you can call it for free. And if you have Suitan, you want to call Suitan in the extra circle. And then these two, let's say your opponent has a full board of 4 units, let's say just in general, you gain his skill, so this gains 20, this gains 20, then Zuitan gains 20, and then from his skill he gains 30 in general. And then this is just against a force matchup or a protect matchup. This is going to be hitting for 42-53 to the Vanguard. If they don't have a PG, they're going to have to overguard this for 2 to pass or not even no pass. They're using too many resources. And you still have a 34, and then you also have a 43k V-stick still. So that's just a very quick little...
So basically it's less attacks but more power.
Yeah, and you have more hand. The deck, honestly, normally when I play this deck, I have about, normally to specify, we have about always
6 to 7 cards?
Yeah, sometimes even 10 or more. It just depends on the matchup, especially going first, since Suitan just lets you plus, and then if you go drill early game, you're just plussing excessively. You can even just guard early game, and just late game, you don't even have to worry about it. You can just take a couple hits late game, and then early game, just try to protect yourself unless you have drill in your hand. You want to take at least 1 damage, and if your opponent damage denies you, even better for you. You're at 0 damage, they have no board, cool. You Gauntlet Buster them, and you're even punishing them more because since they didn't call a board, so they couldn't attack you, you want to swing for a beautiful 23 minimum, and if you have, 22 minimum, and then if you have this boy right behind him, that's going to be a 33 with 3 crits, and if you get any crits there, your opponent now is super negging and they didn't have a PG. But yeah. Honestly,
what are good matchups for this deck and bad matchups, like clan-wise?
Best matchup, honestly, normally it's any Excel clan that isn't Pale Moon right now. Pale Moon hurts a lot because they get to plus so much from their hand that they can always see the PGs or any card in general that they need just to survive. Shadow Paladin's a little bit iffy sometimes because they can literally surprise you with the new waterfall version that they have. And then
What's another problem for you?
Problem, I've had a lot to happen that I see a lot of grade 3s in my hand. And when I see a lot of grade 3s, honestly, it's just so much harder to play the game because I can't run the deck with just grade 3s, especially.
I mean, like, yeah, bricking is always like, but like, is there any more like clans in Pacific that you would say are like would beat this clan?
This deck,
It's a really hard matchup. Besides like Pale Moon, and since Shadows is 50-50, what about Murakumo? That is the top deck of the format right now.
so Murakumo is 50-50. It can either go one of two ways, depending whether they see all their key pieces or not, whether I see my key pieces. If they ride a lot, I'll have Gauntlet Buster to clear their board, and if they don't have a PG, they're still gonna get very hurt. If they wipe my board, it's gonna hurt a little bit because I lose, for example, my Phoenixes. Losing my Phoenixes are very hurtful for the deck. But otherwise, the deck functions 50-50. It has a 75-25 sometimes. But other than that, those are the three main clans I really struggle with. My colony right now is still a work in progress. Not a lot of people in our locals play it, so it's kind of hard to play test against it.
Except me.
Obviously. But the deck itself is running very well, runs very smoothly.
It's ever changing.
It's never changing, but honestly, Gauntlet Buster was a mistake, and Gaiba was a mistake. But other than that, the deck is running pretty smoothly. It's very consistent. It has no issues.
All right, then, man. Thanks for the deck profile, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, guys. Peace.